Have you ever felt that sharp, disorienting pain of a broken heart? Well, that's exactly where Rithvik Singh's book, I Don't Love You Anymore, begins. Today, we're going to walk through this incredible guide on navigating that whole journey, from a completely shattered heart all the way back to finding yourself again.
Right from the start, the book makes this really powerful promise. See, it's not just about getting through a breakup. It's about learning to love yourself so fiercely that you can actually walk away from whatever breaks you. It's a message aimed right at those of us who feel things really, really deeply. Your heart is absolutely worth protecting. So let's follow the 4 stages of healing that are laid out in this guide. We're going to start with the initial shock of a broken heart, then we'll get kind of lost in what the author calls the forest of memories. After that, we hit a major turning point, redefining what love should even be, before we get to that final empowering step, choosing yourself.
Every heartbreak story kicks off in the exact same place, the immediate aftermath. The first part of this book doesn't just tiptoe around the pain, no, it dives headfirst right into the wreckage.
Wow, right? The author uses this really stark metaphor. Your heart isn't just broken, it's a crime scene. Just think about that for a second. It suggests there's been a violation, that there's evidence left behind of what was lost. You know, old letters, the ghosts of memories. It just perfectly captures that feeling of devastation and injustice.
And this is the gut-wrenching irony of it all. You would burn cities down for this person, but they're the one who ends up leaving you in the fire. The book just nails that painful imbalance, where all your devotion is met with, well, their absence.
Okay, so after that initial shock starts to fade, a different kind of pain sets in. The author calls it the forest of memories, and it's that phase where the past just constantly bleeds into your present.
This question is really at the core of this whole section. How do you even begin to reclaim your own life when it still feels like it belongs to someone who's gone? It's such a haunting question. How long does it take to stop living for a person who isn't even there anymore?
And you know, it's the little things, the automatic habits, that just cut the deepest. You find yourself making their coffee, you wander into their favorite bookstore, you save a photo of a sunset you know they would have loved, and then you remember they're not there to share it with. These are the moments that show you just how tangled up someone was in the fabric of your life.
What the book gets so right here is that missing someone isn't always this big, conscious thing. A lot of the time, it's more like a song that's just stuck in your head. It's this constant, low hum in the background. It's an unconscious, but always persistent presence.
Okay, so after spending all that time stuck in the past, the journey takes a really crucial turn. You start to look forward, and you do that by asking a really fundamental question. What should love actually feel like anyway?
The book presents this incredibly clear choice. On one side, you have this inconsistent love that comes and goes like waves, always leaving you feeling uncertain. But on the other side, you have a true partnership. It's built on simple, constant things, like holding hands on a busy street. It's a partnership where love never leaves.
And this is the realization that changes everything. Love isn't some trophy you have to fight for. It's a gift, one that's given to you freely every single day. And understanding that difference, that's the first real step towards actually healing.
Which brings us to the most important question of all, right? Once you finally understand what you deserve, how do you actually start to mend? How do you put all those broken pieces back together?
So the final act of this journey isn't about waiting around to be rescued. Nope. It's about you becoming the hero of your own story. It's that moment where you finally, decisively choose yourself.
I mean, this section on healing starts with such a beautiful image. It frames healing not just as getting better, but as a full-on transformation, like becoming as full and as powerful as a river after a good, cleansing rain. It's all about finding strength right where you once only felt pain.
The book is so direct here. It says healing is a conscious choice. You must learn to live without them. You must find your smile again. And above everything else, you must choose yourself. That's a command, not just a gentle suggestion.
This is probably one of the most liberating ideas in the whole book. The end of a relationship can actually be the beginning of finding yourself again. You realize that the smaller, suppressed version of yourself was the price you had to pay for that love. And honestly, it was way too high. Their absence is what finally makes room for you to come back.
And this is the book's final powerful message. When the world, or even just one person, makes you feel unlovable, don't you dare stand with them. Stand with yourself. Be the one who makes yourself laugh first, who sees your own beauty, who gives yourself the same kind of love you so freely pour into others. Because you deserve that love always.